Mm-hmm. I think so. You know, I'm a Democrat to the core. You can create hierarchy. You can reproduce all sorts of distinctions that reflect power dynamics. You can try to produce particular kinds of people. But if you're a Democrat, small d, not Democratic Party, but small d, what you want to do is cultivate students who have the capacity to be critically intelligent. The kinds of citizens that, or not just citizens, the kinds of people that democracies require. Right? So yeah, there's a politics. It's not possible. We all come to the table with our commitments. I'm going to be who I am. I'm always, positioning, telling my students, making explicit my commitments and saying, now what are you going to do with them? Right? So I don't want to position myself as kind of the value neutral, objective arbiter of ideas, right? No, we're going to curate this thing. I'm going to make my positions known as we're talking about the material, and then you can stand in critical relation to what I'm doing, right? And this is all about us being active listeners and active readers, so that the material, whether it's in between the pages or whether it's the professor, it doesn't wash over you, because it comes with the veneer of objectivity, right? Of the authority of the truth, right? Now, what I'm trying to do is cultivate, at least in part, this active relation to the learning process. So I'm going to implicate myself in that. But if I don't go too far, then we're back to where I said earlier, right? I can't do that too quickly. I can't do that too aggressively. Right? But I'm going to implicate me in it. I don't know. There's always been this sense, and I don't know where it came from, that I was put on the planet to do something. Right? There's this seeking, My dad tells the story that he was born with the call over his face. And in our folklore and others, the call is supposed to be a sign that something's special. You can see ghosts, right? There's something uncanny about that baby. And so my father was on his way to being a priest and made a left turn at some point. And so then I come along and I look just like him. Incredibly complex relationship with that man. But I've always felt something special, right? Calling, which I think motivated the search, the religious questing. And now, I tend to read that in this way. I'm always trying to live into that crown. As Baldwin would say, that's just above my head. Coming out of that tradition, right? So and you can read that as a kind of Emersonian perfectionist move, right? That I'm always trying to reach for a higher self, right? Trying to reach for that better self. And so that questing that was translated or evidenced in a particular way when I was younger is now manifesting itself in a very different way now, but there's a continuity, I think, between it. So, just trying to be the best human being that I can be, understanding that out of the tradition I come, life ain't been no crystal state. So it's always a struggle. It's always tied to brokenness, my own fragility. And hearing what Cornell said to me a long time ago, we have a choice. We're all wounded, and the choice is whether we're going to be wounded hurters or wounded healers. And so I'm just trying to live into that crown, and with the understanding I'm wounded and broken, if that makes sense. Oftentimes I'm staying in the house with my mom and my daddy. I just went back just recently to take her to the county fair. Just flew back home and just walked around holding hands, eating. She can't eat candy apples no more, but messing with funnel cake and all this other stuff. It was great. So My nickname is Bebe, so they call me Dr. Bebe. So they're proud, you know, they're proud. They understand that I'm out here. I'm never on television or where I'm not saying where I'm from. They know I can be a bit radical, but they're proud. And but I'm kind of a recluse. I just kind of come home because they're getting older. They're just hanging out with my mama. It's to the core. Lord have mercy. But you know, you can actually see though that neo-Pentecostal impact, right, on her and the very ways in which she expresses her Catholicism. Because my sister is Pentecostal to the core. She's non-denominational. I should say she's non-denominational, but it's that kind of the way in which she expresses it. She's an itinerant. She preaches all over the place. But you can hear it. And you know, they always, you know, baby, he studies religion, but you know, we know we're gonna get him at some point. He's gonna come to Christ in a minute. We know it's on him, right? So but they know how to, you know, they know how to navigate it. I don't think I'll ever stop being in the classroom. Right? It's hard. You get busy. You know, there's the administrative work, the demands of the lecture circuit. I have a new book coming out, Democracy in Black. It's my first trade book. I'm trying to enter into this discussion around contemporary race relations in a way that reflects our generation. It's coming out with Crown, the same place that people publish The Audacity of Hope, and da-da-da. But you know, getting back in that classroom, watching my students do what they do. So I'm gonna do this till they tell me I have to stop. Yeah, I can fly my mama anywhere she wants to go. Right? Yeah. So you know, my son, we did it. You know, me and my wife, who's also an academic. Our son, we raised him. He's now at Brown. He's launched. We can bring our parents up. Her parents are, you know, immigrants from Jamaica, left everything to give her a life, and we can bring them up for the Thanksgiving holidays. I can go home, and so I get paid nicely to read, write, and run my mouth. The only thing I can see that's comparable is like playing a sport for a living, or being, you know what I mean, or preaching the gospel, right, or being on the bench, a judge or something. I get to do what I love to do and take care of my family. So absolutely.